Finally, we come to the last of our Lagna lords, which is Pisces, or Meena. So the planet that rules Meena is Jupiter. So Jupiter is all about expansion, it's about spirituality, it's the guru in Jyotish. So anything to do with higher knowledge learning will be absolutely of interest to a Pisces rising person. Now, Pisces rising is a very interesting one in terms of how people look, because it's quite changeable. This is a water sign. From a physiognomic point of view, well, you can see that Pisces rising is quite unusual because Pisces is a water sign and Pisces wants to expand. So I always think of Pisces and Jupiter as the mist, the clouds. And for Pisces rising, there is this kind of cloudy, vague, glamorous sort of energy connected to it. Very often Pisces rising can have changed their hair color, their physical styles. They can be quite colorful. They're interested in perfumes and colors and everything that is to do with meditation and the inner planes. And yeah, they can be a bit flaky and vague sometimes too, which is considered charming as well. They have great charm. They also have this sense of being able to flow between things. So there is this communication aspect connected with Pisces. Pisces is the natural ruler of the 12th house, and the 12th house in the natural zodiac is the house of karma. It's the house of your past lives. It also rules institutions and places away from the public. So large institutions like hospitals or prisons or schools or spiritual retreats, so a hermetic existence. And this is all very attractive to Piscean energy. So over to you now, Israel.
Yes, Pisces, the last sign of them all. Pisces also as well, just to add on to what Nina said, they are very, there's something quite enchanting about how they look as well. There's something, it's kind of like a magnetic energy that pulls you in. And also because of their connection with institutions, very often we will see people who are Pisces rising perhaps working in institutions too as healers, doctors, nurses, perhaps working with the unfortunate, maybe working in prisons also as well. We often find that too. Teachers also as well will often have Pisces rising. Also. So the planets that are very, very crucial for those who are Pisces rising are planets like Jupiter and the Moon. Jupiter obviously is going to be the ruler of their ascendant, the Lagna, the Pisces Lagna. But Cancer automatically becomes the ruler of the fifth house, which is the house of creativity, the house of children. It's very fertile there, so it does very, very well. Very often people who are Pisces rising, they have lots of children, and there's a love for children in and around them, or their well-being. Mars also becomes a very important planet for Pisces rising, because Mars becomes the ruler of the 9th house. This is the house of spirituality, so Mars gets to be very, very spiritual for them. So this is a great place for them. Venus becomes a very difficult planet for people who are Pisces rising, because Venus automatically rules the 3rd house, and she goes on also to rule the 8th house, which is the house of Scorpio. And earlier on you've heard me mention about how difficult the 8th house can be. So by Venus ruling the 8th house, relationships can be a place where people who are Pisces rising, they enter difficult relationships. Relationships go through heavy crisis, waves and barriers that they have to overcome in order to transform their lives. So these are the planets that become very, very tricky for them. Mercury as well becomes a very difficult planet for Pisces rising, as Mercury becomes one of the rulers of the fourth house, but also the seventh house, and the seventh house, the house of relationship again. And because of the duality nature of Mercury, that going back and forth, that switching energy, it becomes quite challenging for people who are Pisces rising. The Sun can become a challenging planet, as the Sun is going to be the lord of the sixth house. The sixth house is the house of illness, disease. It's a working house, so it can make that particular person work very, very hard. However, the person does have to be very careful, because the Sun being there and the sixth house is also connected with enemies. Also, this person does have to be careful, because they can, in their lives, if they're working too hard perhaps, or working too little, they can, it can manifest in their lives as becoming very ill or very sickly indeed. So the Sun also becomes very crucial to them too.
Or attracting enemies, because where the Sun is in the house, there is a shining. So you would be kind of out there, and you might be perceived as being above your station as a servant, because the sixth house is also about service.
Yes, definitely.
We hope that you've enjoyed our little discussion here on Lagna, ascendants, and their meanings, and we would recommend that you can go over these as much as you want in order to really understand it. Do continue to follow us on our Circle of Divine Facebook page, or on our YouTube channel, Circle of Divine.
Click on the link below in order to get your free Vedic chart done, especially if you want a rectification also of your chart too.
Come and see us again.